the effects in the first month or two, but the more I began to market my business to other property preservation companies with that same mindset, that's when I began to get the overflow of work that we were not able to complete, that I had to outsource. So I would say if you're starting out, I don't recommend you put the whole state that you're in, or narrow down to either your surrounding counties or the county, the one or two counties you really want to work in, because you have to understand whatever you put down, they're going to be submitting jobs to you. And the application then went on. It said, did I understand, the company's policy that I was being hired as a vendor, not an employee. And they wanted me to just check off that I understood that. So once I got the application filled out, I remember I got a response back from the owner of this company. And he told that he was looking for someone who had experience, that he didn't have to coach. And he was willing to give everybody a chance, but at the current time, they really wanted someone who had certain skills, certain background, and gave me his number. So I went ahead and I called him, and he, said the same thing. Carlita, we're really looking for someone we're not having to coach. We really have a lot of jobs coming in, and it'll put our team behind by having to go back and coach and train you on something that we expect our vendors to know. So instead of me getting discouraged, I just told him, hey, I appreciate that, but I assure you that anything that you give me, if I don't know, I will be able to figure it out. And it's not anything more than a challenge for me to show you what I can do. And I gave him my corporate background, gave him my experience, and told him what I have done in the past as far as like project management, and I was just selling myself to him. However, it flowed. So at the end of our conversation, he said, okay, I'll give you a chance. He gave me a chance. And that was probably I think it was the first company that I signed up with back in 2009. So he said he was going to send me the application, and then I got started with them. And now I'm going to show you the things that happened during the course of the next several months as I built my business. And the reason why I'm showing this to you, because I want you to be encouraged that it's going to take consistency. It's going to take diligence. It's going to take work ethic for you to continue to drive and be focused and not be discouraged. And don't let an email stop you from having success. Call them. Pick up the phone and call. Hey, I filed for your company. I'm interested in working for you all. I'm just calling to see the status of my application. Call. Sometimes it helps putting a voice to an email, because they may get several emails at one time, but it's those that are consistent that stand out among the crowd. Because you have to think, this is not a marathon, or it's not a race, it's a marathon, and those who continue through the end are the ones that succeed, not those that sprint and then fall off. But you want to continue to the end. So here's an example of an email that I sent to several companies through my consistent endeavors. And I was just basically saying that I'm interested in being a vendor with their company, and let me know how I can get started, or if there's any outstanding items of my pending application. Because at this point, I'd already emailed them the first time, and I was just following back up with them a second or third or fourth time or fifth time, depending on how they filtered in through the progression. So I was following up with them, asking them my application status, and if there's anything that I needed to send them to complete my application. And here's an example of response I got. They said, thank you, but currently we are not taking any vendors, because they didn't take any vendors. They actually use the national companies. And when I got this email, then that prompted me to then change the way that I was seeking for work orders. So that was not applicable. Then I kept sending out emails, and there was another company that said that they tremendously slowed down. They were glad that I applied. I was in their system, but they didn't have any jobs for me at the time. So that was a pending. Another company I put in, they've said basically my account was activated. They were going to start sending me work, and if I needed to edit any contact information, that I could log in to their website and do so. So that wasn't approved. Here's another company. They basically, gave me a long email and said, should you have any other questions not relating to the vendor application, they would let me know. In the application I sent out, and I got an auto response basically saying they'll contact me, don't contact them, and they will update me on my application, because they had hundreds of applications. Well, this one I emailed over and over and over and over, and I never got a response back from anybody. So I don't know what's going on with this company, but I'm still pending it even today. Here's another example of an application. They were thanking me for my application. Here's another example that actually is pending right now, and they told me as soon as they find work for me, they would let me know. Number 6, this was actually a company that welcomed me to their company, and as soon as I got accepted, they set up a training for me to be trained with on a call. So it didn't take, after I went through the process, it was like 24 hours. They put me in the system, and this is actually one of the ones that I highly recommend in my ebook. Very good company, and I would recommend this company to anybody, especially a new company getting started. If you want to know who it is, just check out my ebook, and I will have a star by the company I'm talking about. And here's another company. They basically reviewed my application, and there was a recruiter that was going to call me within 30 days. So that one was approved. Okay. And then the 8th email that I pulled back up was from a company that contacted me. Yes, this company contacted me on newrep.com. And they had started sending us a lot of work. And when she contacted me, we talked on the phone. She interviewed me. She was very impressed with the way that the conversation had went, and she sent me over a work order immediately, and I was approved over the phone. So there you go. So as you can see, you're going to get a lot of you got to put in a lot. I only gave you like 8 examples here, but most of them were approved. There are some that are still pending, and there was one that was lost. I don't know what happened to that company, but through it all, I was determined. I was determined to keep a consistency, keep a schedule, and just continue to follow up. I mean, when I got no's, okay, I took them out. They said, no, they don't want us right now. Maybe I'll follow back up with them in 30 days. Or maybe in 2 weeks. It just depends, because you never know. There's always going to be a company that can't accept the work order, or that closes their doors, or that transitions their business. And if you call or email them at the right time, then you will be the company that wins. And there really is no right time. All it is the consistency and the numbers. The more often that you submit your information, the most likely you are being chosen. So you have to have a determination and that work ethic. You have to make sure that you are putting in the time to yield the results. And so if you find yourself just banging yourself, over the head, being frustrated, wondering what are you doing wrong, why is it not working, let me give you one thing, and I'm probably getting ahead of myself. But just think of an analogy of a farmer. And I may have mentioned it before. But if you were into farming, and when you're planting a crop, the farmer understands that when he plants a corn seed, in order to yield crop that he needs, he has to plant hundreds of corn seeds. He has to put out hundreds of applications out there, hundreds of seeds, because he knows that some of those seeds are gonna die, just because they probably were just bad seeds. Some of those seeds are gonna get washed away by the rain. Some are gonna get eaten by crows.